This is Mortal Kombat Gold for the Sega Dreamcast, the first Mortal Kombat on 6th generation of consoles. It was a launch title for the Dreamcast. It's also a revision of Mortal Kombat 4 and a Dreamcast exclusive. Think of it like Super Mortal Kombat 4. It's basically the same game, but there are a few more characters and stages. The new roster includes CYRAX, MILEENA, Kitana, Kung Lao, and Baraka, and some hidden playable characters as well, like Sector, Noob Saibot, and Goro.
Finish him! Scorpion wins. Fatality.
It's not your typical Mortal Kombat when you compare it to the ones before MK4, in the sense that I don't feel the skill ceiling is as high as on the previous installments. The original games demanded you get good at it, but this one seems like anyone can jump in and have fun. It's one of the easier MKs to pick up and play. In many ways, I love the combat here, because the AI in the original games were so unforgiving most of the time. Not that that's a bad thing, but sometimes it's hard to you really have to give yourself to it 100%.
Finish him! Wins. Fatality.
This feels like it's one of the fastest MKs when it comes to combat. You can unleash a fury of attacks very quickly. The battle arenas are fully 3D, so you can sidestep to dodge attacks, but this is a useless feature and they didn't fix it until Mortal Kombat 9. There's also weapons to use here, and that was new to the series, and it had a huge influence on games to come in the franchise. Then in here, I never saw much use for the weapons. They feel forced in and they don't feel like they belong there. It's just, they're not fun to use and they just get in the way of the real combat. Just let me focus on combat.
Outstanding. Finish him! Sub-Zero wins. Fatality.
For the most part, I love the character design. This is the only game where I really like the way Quan Chi looks, and in every other game he looks like an anorexic Kratos. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, I hate how Reptile looks. He was my favorite ninja, and they went and ruined his design. He looks stupid, and he's wearing purple pants. What is he, the Hulk? His design gets worse with each new game in the series. It's terrible. At least in MK9, they let you wear his classic costume. Some of the stages here look really good, while others just kind of, plain and dull. That blue face used to creep me the fuck out when I was a kid. I hated it. You know what? I've never noticed that face in the sky back there when the lightning strikes until now. That's awesome. The fatalities in this game are hit and miss. Some are great and some not so much. Some just have no creativity put into it. I mean, you're known for fatalities. Make them count. But it also helps when you can actually see the damn thing. Sometimes the wall blocks the action.
Finish her! Sector wins. Fatality.
I've always loved Mortal Kombat for the story, characters, fatalities, and just the world and its lore in general. I've never liked the stories in any other fighting game because usually they just add it last minute or it's just flat out boring. Mortal Kombat has always had a little bit extra to it, but I've never been an expert at Mortal Kombat, okay? I'm not the greatest player and can pull off tons of combos and tons of moves all at once. I am above average at least. I can hold my own, but when it comes to like pro players, yeah, they'll probably destroy me. So I do like playing Mortal Kombat for fun. I think that's what I like about Mortal Kombat Gold. It's just a really fun game that it doesn't demand too much out of you. Mortal Kombat 4 was the first MK that I actually beat 100%. I never did that with any of the previous games. And that's because of what I said earlier. It really is a much easier game to just pick up and play for anyone. The higher difficulties still require some skill. to get through it, but at least you can still have fun here and look forward to actually beating it. It's not that hard.
Finish him. Wins. Fatality.
You know, another weird thing about MK4 and MK Gold is the audio. The music is fine. The voice work when they talk is fine, but this game has always had a goofy feeling to it because of what the characters say when they're fighting or how they scream. I mean, Scorpion sounds like a little girl when he gets hurt.
Fight.
Well, I guess that matches his theme song. They just yell out random nonsense. It's crazy. Some of the ending cinematics are just hilarious. I mean, some of them were kind of boring to watch, but some are just funny as hell. My best friend and I used to quote them all the time. And with that, the serious factor has been extremely toned down here. The game just has a funny tone throughout, and yes, that kind of sucks, but at least it keeps me entertained and laughing while having a good time.
Finish her. Fatality.
There are plenty of modes here to play. You got arcade mode, which is standard, and you can do 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. There's team mode where you can have a team versus team, like 5-on-5, and whoever loses all their characters first loses. There's an endurance mode where you just keep fighting until you're defeated. Pretty self-explanatory. And you have tournament mode, so at least there's a lot of different ways to play here to keep it from getting stale. Load times are non-existent here, and that is awesome. I remember the load times on the PS1 taking a little bit too long for my taste. But at points, it seems the game moves too fast even for itself. The characters don't even have time to do their victory animations before the next round starts. But in a way, I like it because you can get through the arcade ladder pretty damn quick.
Outstanding. Finish her. CYRAX wins. Fatality.
I'm guessing most people don't like the choice to go full 3D over using digitalized graphics. At least that's how I felt when I first saw the game on the PS1 back in the day. The game hasn't aged well graphically, but to be fair, most early 3D games look terrible now. To me, it doesn't look so ugly to where it's unplayable. But it could look much better. As a matter of fact, that is one of the major reasons why the game got average scores when it released. The graphics look like the PS1 and N64 ports of Mortal Kombat 4. Thanks to games like Soul Calibur, we knew what the Dreamcast could do graphically, and this just didn't match up. To be fair, the actual arcade version doesn't look that much better than these ports, but the Mortal Kombat Gold should have looked like the arcade graphics, or even better, because we know it very well could have. Most people think Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast looks and plays better than the arcade version. So on launch day, you could choose between Soul Calibur or Mortal Kombat. It wasn't very hard for fans to choose which one they wanted.
Finish him. CYRAX wins. Fatality.
Mortal Kombat Gold was criticized when it was released because it was full of game-breaking bugs and glitches. There were errors, the game would freeze, and there were texture glitches up the wazoo, and you couldn't even save your game. Yeah, all those endings you unlocked are gone whenever the console is shut off. The release was so bad, they had to re-release it a month later, titled the Hot New Edition. It fixed most of the bugs, and it fixed the saving bug, which is the most important thing. Luckily, if you want to buy the game for yourself, it's easy to spot the right copy. The Hot New cover has a green sticker on it, and the disc is tinted red. That's how you know that's the fixed version. The original disc with the bugs is tinted gold. That's the bad disc. So the gold discs are worthless. Get the red discs. I've never had the gold disc personally, so if anyone can confirm its crappiness to me, I would be grateful.
Finish her. Fatality.
The only glitches I've noticed so far is when I play as Shinnok. It would freeze for a second, and when it would unfreeze, the announcer would just say a random name like Raiden or Kai.
RAIDEN.
It was weird. I don't understand why it does it. It's like the game can't handle you playing as Shinnok.
Shinnok. Shinnok. Shinnok. Shinnok. Shinnok. Shinnok.
But with everything else aside, I love this game. Mortal Kombat 4 was always fun to play, and Mortal Kombat Gold just adds more with the characters and stages. It's a great pickup, and I highly recommend playing this version. It may not be a great looking game, but the most important part of any game is the gameplay, and it's got that here. And with the skill ceiling being so low, there's no reason to be scared of playing it. Anyone can pick it up and have fun and even beat this game. It's awesome. But make sure you buy the hot new red disc version. Or remember, the Dreamcast can play burn games without being modded, so you can download the hot new version. Just make sure it's that version. Hey guys, what's up? Metal Horror Gamer here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like on it. And share it if you want to. I love talking to people, so if you want to discuss anything, leave a comment below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to see more of my content in the future, go ahead and subscribe. I have a lot more coming soon to my channel, so I hope you stick with me, and I hope you enjoy the future content that will be coming. I hope to see you all in my next video, so I'll see you later, and be safe out there.